Third example, we have every non-student spends her days in coffee houses. And there are a couple different wrinkles to this one. You got to think about what every means, and every is like any, or in particular here, all. This is going to be an all claim. Every non-student spends her days in coffee houses means the same thing as saying that all non-students spend her days in coffee houses. Some kind of grammatical ambiguity between her or there. In any case here, what we want to do is let S stand for students, resist the temptation to say, I don't know, N or whatever else you would be inclined to say for non-students. We want to make a positive category. We're not including the negation or the idea of not being something in our category. All right, now this falls nicely here. We can't use S to stand for something else. We need S to stand for a clear and distinct thing. So let's just say D for, and we don't want to say spends her days in coffee houses. We want to say, make it into a noun phrase, things that spend. I'm going to change it here to there. This is just the general idea. You get to sometimes just kind of massage the grammar a bit. Things that spend their days in coffee houses. Side point here, okay. Claim's obviously false here. We're trying to capture the meaning of the claim. And, the others probably not clear at all whether or not they're true. Well, I guess the second claim is pretty clearly true, but we're not trying to capture what we think is true. We're trying to capture the meaning of the claim. Then we can go on and discuss it, talk about whether or not it's true, talk about how it might fit into a valid or invalid argument. All right. Now, every works as all, so we make that replacement. Every, any, each are going to correspond to all, no, none, there is none. But again, you need to look at the particular case to decide, whether or not we have an all or a no claim or a some claim. What we have here would be then all non-S are D. Okay, think about that. Make sure that makes sense. Number 4 I've chosen partly because it corresponds to a couple of the trickier exercises. There are definitely some trickier exercises, as always, that you should take a look at in the book. Here we have something that is happy is a sister of the president's favorite child in Cleveland. Okay, the categories here are, again, you got to just think about the grammar. We have happy things. We don't want just the adjective. All right, and then the other category at issue here are, I'm going to call them S's sisters of the president's favorite child in Cleveland. Whether or not there is any member, sorry, scratch that out here, whether or not the president does have a favorite child in Cleveland is not at issue, but the fact that maybe there is no thing that meets that description is why we might want to have the modern interpretation, or why we would want to at least have that possibility. Now, the ambiguity here is we say something that is happy is the sister of the president's favorite child in Cleveland. Sort of thinking in the context, it's pretty clear that this is going to be an I claim, some H, R, S. We always just say R rather than is. Remember, some again means at least one. I should have said that before. It's important. So several, many, a few, all those will translate as some claims. The logical distinction that's focused on here is what we do have as opposed to what we do not. Some claims are existence claims. We're saying we have something of a certain type. All and no claims say that we do not, or or always do have a certain overlap of categories, and in the end those mean things that we do not have or cannot have. That's going to be discussed more in the next section as well. Now, the ambiguity is sometimes if I'll sketch it over here quickly, right? You know, something X is Y, especially, and I would say only, when something is written as a single word here. We might mean by that something X is Y, as in all X are Y. But maybe you're just saying there's something that's X and Y. In other words, some X are Y. Well, that's an important ambiguity to be aware of. Two separate words. I meant anyway the problems will be done in the way that suggests that this is an existence claim, a sum claim. So keep that in mind as you do the exercises.